Hello, let's talk about the worst boss in each Souls game. Oh yeah, by the way, in order to make this video somewhat interesting and not the most generic copy-pasted video, I want to talk about the most obvious choice and bullshit bosses. For example, Bed of Chaos, Mikolash, Jabba Hutt, Deacons, and other very obvious or shitty examples. Okay, let's begin with Demon Souls. After thinking about it for a while, I will add a Judicator. The reason of that is a bit specific, I would say. If you are next to him, no joke, he has one attack, one fucking move which he spams over and over. I'm talking about his horizontal hit, on which he needs an eternity to swing. The entire fight is literally you waiting for him to do this horizontal hit. Then you hit a sword that is stuck in his belly, and after he falls down, you need to hit chicken on top of his head over and over. Repeat this one or maybe two times and GG. Or if you are a mage or a bow player, just stay on top of a pillar and shoot this chicken without him being able to do much. There is literally nothing good about this boss. His fight is a joke. He has one, well okay, at best two moves. His boss arena is literally a basement, and he himself looks like a KFC speedrunner with large tongue, who also has extra chicken nuggets on top of his head. There is just nothing good about him, so I'll put him on this list. Now Dark Souls 1. From Dark Souls 1 I will choose Capra Demon. Yeah, you might be surprised why I didn't add some other examples, but I have my own reasons about why I did him. First of all, in late game, he'll be a regular mob, which is not really cool. Secondly, as soon as fight starts, he immediately jumps at you, and because of that 90% of the time, like it or no, you will take damage. Third, in his arena there are these annoying stinky dogs that not only do a decent amount of damage, they also can micro stun you, and if Capra Demon hits you while dogs are next to you, you are just dead, and there is nothing that you can do about that. And okay, if his boss arena was a bit big, so you could somehow deal with these dogs, but no, his boss arena is just unreasonably small. The only real way to kill Capra Demon is to somehow survive this trio of dogs, go up on stairs, and then try to kill them one by one. Oh yeah, by the way, don't forget to take a weapon in both hands, because while one handling most weapons, there is a chance that your weapon will hit a wall and you might get fucked. As soon as you kill both dogs, just jump on his head over and over. He alone is a joke. Not only he is a very slow boss, he is extremely dumb boss, which allows you to run away from him and just jump on his head over and over until he dies. Despite the fact this boss is plus minus easy, it won't deny the fact he is absolutely disgusting to fight, especially on a blind playthrough. Dark Souls 2. Well, the choice from Dark Souls 2 is pretty big, but I will choose Luden Zalin, and no, I am not joking at all. First of all, Frigid Outskirts Rambak. Secondly, Frigid Outskirts Rambak. Third, this boss is literally a duo cheap knockoff of Awa that received a Netflix adaptation, which is not cool at all, because it shows a huge middle finger towards original Awa, who was a decent boss. And not only fighting one of them is not the easiest thing to do, you have to fight two of them at the same time, unless you kill Lud very fast, of course. If you won't kill Lud before Zalen joins the fight, there is almost nothing that you can do against that. So yeah, because this boss is literally a duo boss fight of already existing boss that never was designed to be a duo boss, and because of its beyond bullshit Rambak, I will put them on this list. Now Bloodborne. Well, just like in Dark Souls 2, the list of shitty bosses in this game is also pretty big. But after thinking about it for a while, I will choose Living Fellers. Yeah, you might say something about Witches of Hamwick, but Witches are a very predictable boss pick, so I will choose Living Dildos. Okay, what is the problem of this boss? Well, first of all, they literally look like a big celestials, but without a head. Secondly, they look like a living dildos. Third, this is a basic humble HP bar. Fourth, this boss is literally a one spam victim who just can't do anything. Yeah, I know that nearly all Bloodborne bosses are one spam victims, but living dildos literally have 3 moves, and once a sentry, they will summon a huge meteor, but you can just hide behind a flower and that's it. There is just nothing good about this boss. You might say they have a creepy and interesting lore, but honestly, I can take a tragic backstory of a boss seriously when they look like a living dildos. I can take a boss seriously who is just a bunch of basic mobs to a bit changed model next to a huge flower, and I can take a boss seriously who just stays still most of the time and does nothing. So because of that, I'll put them on this list. Dark Souls 3. In Dark Souls 3, I had 2 main candidates, Wyvern and Ariandel's dog, but then I realized that Wyvern is not even a real boss fight, so I will choose Champion and his dog. Okay, so why I think they deserve a spot on this list? Well, it all comes down to one very important moment. They are absolutely unmemorable. I am 100% sure that any of you while they're playing Ashes of Ariandel DLC completely ignored this boss, and also I am more than certain that most people think that in this DLC there is only one boss, and yeah, that's this boss' biggest problem. They are completely unmemorable. Let's take for example Deacons or Volnir. They are pretty shitty bosses, and many people either dislike them or just make fun of them 24/7, but a fact is fact. People remember this boss' existence. Even if these bosses were a bit shitty, you at least remember them in some way, but Champion and his dog, I don't think that there are even 10 people who remember about this boss' existence. This boss is just a random ass naked NPC who you can R1 spam to death or kick and repulse him to death, and then even more random dog who you already meet at the beginning of this DLC will appear with a bit less HP. You'll just devour them alive and won't even remember about their existence. And the funniest thing is that this dog has some lore behind him. He is the last kind of oversized wolf like Sif from Dark Souls 1. He is basically a demon prince or Midir of ancient wolves. But be honest with me and tell me, was this dog even 5% as memorable as Demon or Midir? I really doubt about that. So yeah, in 2 words, I put them on this list because they are just completely unmemorable and worthless bosses. Sekiro. Even though I said I don't want to be very generic, from Sekiro I will choose monkeys. The main problem is that Sekiro bosses on average are decent at worst, and outside of this and one dipshit, there wasn't really a choice besides monkeys. I won't talk much about them. I will just add my voice from my very old video about Sekiro. Oh my fucking god, this is such a dumb and boring boss fight. One monkey is behind you invisible. One here is good, one C is good, one fire is good, and with this information you have to run at them over and over until you kill them. In my opinion, this fight is even worse than Moonlight Butterfly, because it's so boring, oh my god, and so uninteresting. Like, how can someone even like this fight? And finally, Elden Ring. Oh yeah, by the way, just so you know, I won't choose Consort Radan because I made fun of this boss so many times that at this point it's a bit boring to add him on this list. So I will choose surprise Deathbird. I know that a lot of people don't really talk about this boss when it comes to its shittiness, but honestly, this is one of the few Elden Ring bosses that I avoid the most. The most annoying one without a doubt are in DLC and Mountain Top of the Giants. He's just so goddamn unfun boss to fight, with so many cheap damage dealing abilities, it's just not even funny. For example, if you are next to him, he can start Roar, and not only it will damage to you, it will give you a death thing, and if this bar is filled, you are dead no matter what. Secondly, he takes a normal amount of damage only to his head, but the problem is that he's a very mobile boss, boss, and hitting his head is not the easiest task. Third, he takes a solid amount of damage only if you have a holy weapon, so no matter what build you use, you have to take holy weapons, or this fight will last for a very long amount of time. And final reason is his second phase, boom! When he does his boom, there will be blue flame everywhere. Not only it will do a decent amount of damage, it will micro stun you, which allows this beard to nearly one-shot you. Plus my big thanks to this boss for his spear shot spam, and my bigger thanks to his huge amount of damage and some of his near one-shot hits. So because Deathbeard is such a fun piece of shit, I'll put him on this list. Well, that's pretty much it. Type who are the worst bosses for you. If you like my video, press something under it. With this, I will say bye bye to you and I will see you next time.